Alright, so for 19, you have got arc cosine of radical 3 over 2, so you're looking for the angle that gives you this ratio. Now it's a positive ratio, so you know it's in quadrant 1. So then that would be pi over 6. Okay, so number 20 is the ambiguous case, and how you know that is when they give you two sides and one angle that's opposite one of the sides. So this is the ambiguous case. So you set it up like this, like I have in the drawing underneath the information. And when this number is bigger than this number, you have one triangle. Okay? And so you just set it up with the law of sines. So 8 over sine 38 equals b over sine b. So we know that for b, we can use 5, right? Because they gave you that number. So you cross multiply. So it's going to be 8 sine b equals 5 sine 38. We divide both sides by 8. Okay, and then input this into the calculator. Make sure you're back in degree mode if your calculator was set to radian before that. So then you could take, since we're looking for b, and this is going to give you the ratio, you're going to do inverse sine of whatever number you get here. Okay, so you're going to hit the answer key, equals. Okay, and for that you're going to get, let's see, I've got 2263. Okay, to get angle C, you take 180 minus the sum of 38 angle A plus angle B, 2263, and so you get 119.37. Okay, and so all we're missing now is, because we have the two angles, we're missing side C. So use the given information to find sine C. So 8 and 38 were given, right? So use that ratio, equals C over sine 119.37. Okay, so you're going to get C sine 38 equals 8 sine 119.37. Divide both sides by sine 38. Sine 38, oops, 38 right there. And then so you plug this into the calculator, again making sure that you're in degree mode. And I don't have the answer. Let me get my calculator. So you get 11.32. So side C is 11.32 units. So here are the three answers that you're missing. So right here, it looks like we don't have opposites because they gave you angle A, angle B, and side C. But you actually do have opposites because you know that angle C is 180 minus the sum of 35 and 60, right? So that's going to give you, see, 185. So now you have opposites. You have C and side C, angle C and side C. So 10 over sine 85 equals B over sine 60 equals C over sine 35. Okay, so we'll solve for B first, just because they're right next to each other. So then you know that it's B sine 85 equals 10 sine 60. We're going to divide by sine 85, both sides. So B equals whatever you get on the calculator here. Okay, and let's see if I have that answer. 8.69. Okay, and then to find side C, go back and use the first one and then that one, right? So it's going to be C sine 85 equals 10 sine 35. So divide by sine 85. And so C equals whatever you get here on the calculator. And that would be 5 points, that would be A and B. Oh, I think I labeled it wrong. I'm sorry. They gave you C, so this is actually A. I've been writing it wrong all this time. So A, and this is A. So A would be 5.76. Alright, so here's the formula for the area of a area of a triangle when you're given side angle side. So it's 1/2 times 6 times 2 times sine 102, which is 6 sine 102. Again, you're still in degree mode. And when you put this in the calculator, you get 5.9 units squared. So here's the formula that we're going to use for number 23. We don't have opposites, so we have to use the law of cosines. So this would be 8 squared plus 9 squared minus 2 times 8 times 9 cosine 140. And I would just put it into the calculator like that. So once you find this, don't forget to do square root of the answer. And you should get A is 1598. Okay, so this is A. Okay, so now that you have A, now you have opposite. So I would do 1598 divided by sine 140 equals 8 over sine B equals 9 over sine C. You could do it that way. And so oops, that looks like I missed the end. So I'm going to do these two. So 1598 sine B equals 8 sine 140. So we're going to divide by 1598. So that's gone. So sine B equals this ratio right here. Now remember, this is a number that came out of the calculator up here in this step, right? So don't clear. I hope you didn't. If you did, go back and put it in so that you have all the digits to this one, right? So you're going to do 8 sine 140 divided by the answer. Okay? And then equal. So when you get that, you have to do inverse sine because we're looking for B, right? Because this is going to give you a ratio. So you do inverse sine of the new answer because this is going to give you one answer right here, which is the ratio. And then inverse sine of that ratio, which is the new answer, is going to be your angle. And that angle is 1877. And for angle C, you can just do 180 minus the sum of 140 plus 1877, and that'll give you 2123. So this is for angle C. So remember when they give you side, 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 again, you have no opposite, so you have to use a law of cosines. So you look for the longest side because that's going to give you the biggest angle. So in this case, it's side C, 68, that's the longest side. So I've set up the equation, so you're going to have 51 squared plus 21 squared minus 68 squared all over 2 times 51 times 21. Okay, now the important thing here is how you input it to the calculator. So I'll give you the steps that I use. So I just put 51 squared plus 21 squared minus 68 squared, oops, squared. Then I put, that looks like a 4, squared. Then I put equals, because the calculator would give me the sum, the result of the numerator. Then divide. You want the calculator to keep the denominator together, so you put parentheses, 2 times 51 times 21, close your parentheses. And that's going to give you the ratio. Okay? So keep that number on the screen, and then you're going to do inverse cosine of the answer. Okay? So then angle C is 137.61. Okay, so that's angle C. For angle, and now it doesn't matter if you find A or B. I usually just go from biggest to smallest, so I'll find A next. So cosine A. So here's a setup for angle A. Remember, if you're looking for A, after the negative is the lowercase a, the side A, okay? And then the other two sides go here and in the denominator. Here's the setup, and you do the same thing that I told you up here. Okay, same order. Hit equal after you do the square here, and then divide by the parentheses right here. After you hit inverse cosine of the answer for angle A, you will get 30.37. So 30.37 for angle A. And so for angle B, I would just simply do the 180 minus the sum of 137.61 and 30.37, right? And so that's going to give you 1202. And that's the answer. So 25 is just like number 24, just different numbers. So again, in this case, angle C is the first one that we find, is because it's opposite the longest side, which is 23. So here's the setup. Here it is with the numbers. So again, remember, after you put in 23 squared up here, hit equal, then divide by parentheses here and parentheses here. Okay, to keep the denominator together. So that's going to give you a ratio. After you get the ratio, don't clear the calculator. Leave the number, leave the number on the screen, and then just hit inverse cosine of the answer, and it should give you 99.24. And that's angle C. So for the next angle we're going to look for is B. And again, here's the setup for it. Here it is with the numbers. You're going to input this into the calculator, equals, then divide by left parenthesis, right parenthesis, just like I showed you on number 24. That's going to give you a ratio. Then you're going to hit inverse cosine of the answer equal, and it's going to give you 46.85. And that's going to be angle B. For angle A, you could do the same thing as we did for angle C and B, but I think it's a little bit faster to do 180 minus the sum of 99.24 and 46.85. So add these together, subtract from 180, and so you get 33.91. That's your A.